what you've done on this page right here, the new things that you did on this page right here. You created an internal style sheet and you created two tables, okay? The first table, you put a link bar inside the table, and then the second table, this one right down here, you just organize some information in the table, okay? Now, for right now, for the time being, I want to focus on the internal style sheet, okay? Now, a couple of things. Number one, I'm going to ask you all to look up here for a few minutes. Number two, if you have headphones on or something like that, take them off for the next little while. And please don't sit there and play games and watch videos. Now, when we created this internal style sheet on this picture, we did a couple of things. Number one, we set a background color. We set text colors for that heading, and we set text colors for that paragraph. Now, I want to backtrack a little bit right here. I want you all to take a look at the home page of my practice site, okay? On the home page of my practice site, I set background color, right? And I set a text color right here, text line, all that good stuff, correct? But what was the difference? Let's just focus right now, for an example, what's the difference in how I created the background color on this page as compared to this page? And this right here are the codes that I use to create the home page of my practice site. Right here is where I created the background color on this page, right? And then on the page we did today, right here is where I created the background color. What's the difference between the two? Anybody? Go ahead. Okay. One of the pages, I use what's called an inline style, which is right here. I apply the style to this body element right here. Okay? That's what's known as an inline style. Now, every year we do this, and I try to teach you all this stuff in this order, okay? Inline styles only apply to one single element at a time, okay? If you create an internal style sheet, which is what you've done right here, in between this open style and closed style, that's considered an internal style sheet, okay? It applies that to everything on that page. Now, there's only going to be one body tag, right? How many H1s could you have on a page? How many H1s could you have on a page? As many as you want, right? How many paragraphs can you have on a page? As many as you want, right? And every single H1 you put on there, it's going to be colored, the text color will be blue. Every single paragraph you put on there, the text color will be red. So on and so forth. If I were to go down here, and there's my first heading right here. There's my first paragraph. If I were to go down here and insert a new heading, you can do this with me, by the way. If I were to go and put another heading, okay, all I did was add in another heading right here, correct? Okay, if I go in here and save this and refresh my page right here, okay, go look up here. I've got another heading right there. It's in blue font. I didn't have to go back and apply an inline style to it, correct? It works the same thing with another paragraph, right? You go and add in another paragraph. I'm going to do that real quickly. The text is not important. I'll add in another paragraph. All right, we're going to add another paragraph. What color is that paragraph going to come out? All right, it's going to come out red, right? Go back and refresh that. All right, I got another paragraph that came out red. You should not be playing games right now, please. You should be paying attention. What happens if I put an H2 in there? What color is H2 going to be? What? Why is it going to be black? Because I didn't define a style, right? If I had an H2 in there, it's just going to be black, right? Because I didn't apply a style to it. What would you do if you wanted to add a text color onto that H2? Okay, you would go back up here and let's do this with you, please. I'm going to put it right here after my H1. Show y'all how to add an extra style in there. You do not have to add that dot in there. It actually is really harmful to it. That's where we're at right here. I'm just going to make mine green. Guys, I need to go be white. I'm just going to make my color green. You can make it whatever color you want, okay? But if I add that up there in my style sheet, and notice here, when you create an internal style, it is going to pop up. It should be located inside this head section. The head section needs to come before your open body, okay? You have your open head, your closed head down here. You're going to put a page title, which is good on every page. It goes right there. And then your style should go in there as well. When you add additional ones on there, then they should be in there in between open style, closed style. Now if I save this, I'll put this back up there in a moment. I've got my black heading right there. If I go back and refresh it, it's all of a sudden changed to green, right? Okay. Now, well, this is a way to apply certain styles to one page at a time. Okay? If you're having trouble with this, you need to let me know. Y'all are going to have to show me you know how to do this on your next website assignment. Now, let's take a look for a couple minutes here at the W3 school site. And I want you to take a look on that link that says HTML CSS. Okay? Let's take a look at this part right here. When you hear this term CSS, that stands for Cascading Style Sheets. CSS is used to style web pages. Okay? It can save you from doing a lot of work. Now, some of you might be sitting there wondering, why in the world would Mr. Smith have taught us inline styles when you can do the internal style sheet and it makes it a lot quicker? Why would I have taught you an inline style? Anybody have a clue why that would happen? Go ahead.
Well, you might not want to.
All right, very good. If you can still use inline styles, okay? You might decide you want to customize one particular heading, or you might decide you want to customize one particular paragraph, or one particular element on your page, okay? You might decide you want to center something instead of having every heading centered. You might pick one that you want to center, okay? When you create, if you were to go and add an inline style on one of these elements right here, page one, it would take precedent over whatever was in the internal style sheet. Okay. Now, the three ways that you can use CSS are the inline styles, the internal style sheet, and you can actually create an external style sheet and just attach it to your pages. Now, for this semester, we're not going to worry about the external style sheet. When we start using Dreamweaver, that's when we will start building external style sheets. connecting them to your pages. Okay. Your inline style or internal style sheets are these examples you see right here. Okay. The internal style sheet is what you see right there. Now, the one thing about this website that they don't do a really good job of showing you here is, or they do it down here on this example, is applying multiple styles to one element. And if you look at this example right here, they went through these elements like the H1 and the P, and they applied multiple styles to them. They changed the font family, the font size, and all that good stuff. That's what we want to do right now on ours. Okay. Let's go back up here to your little internal styles right here, and let's go ahead and change, or let's add some of the styles on here. Let's go ahead on our H1s. Let's go ahead and let's add in some styles right there. When you go to add in a style, the big thing I want to point out to you when you're going to add on to the styles, you use these semicolons here to separate your styles. Make sure you have your semicolons in there. Okay. You don't necessarily have to go down to the next line to add a new style in, but it helps you keep them straight if you will do that. Like say if I want to change my font family. Font dash family, is that correct? Just do font dash family colon and then add in whatever font you want. Okay. The class yesterday, they wanted to see Comic Sans. So I did that. Comic Sans. Yes. I'm also going to go ahead, you all can apply whatever styles you want to apply to yours. I'm going to align mine to the center on each one of these. Let me do tags. Dash, align. You can apply whatever styles that you want to apply. It's completely up to you. I'm just using these for examples. Okay. If you can't think of any, just do the examples I'm doing. Notice on here, you take a look right here. I started a little squiggly bracket right here, and all the styles that I want to apply to my H1 are going inside these squiggly brackets, and they are separated by semicolons. Now I'm going to save that and make sure it works right before we move on. Whoa, that's not what I want to look at. That's what I want. There we go. There you see, I've just changed I got Comic Sans font, and they're centered now, right? Let's go down here to my H2. I'm going to apply a font family to that one as well. Stays over here. What font should I use for my H2s? What? I'm going to use all of them. Give me one. Courier. There we go. And I'm going to align those to the center as well. And let me go ahead and save that one and refresh it so I can make sure it works. There we go. You see there, it's right there. Now, and just in case you're wondering, if you're wondering, well, what else can I do to what else can I style? Go back to this HTML style section right here. It gives you everything you can possibly style. About everything you can possibly style. Background colors, text color, fonts, sizes, alignment. You got all those examples right there. Okay, those are examples of style. Let's go down here to my paragraph. I'm going to do, somebody give me a font for this one.
Use Edwardian script IPC.
Yeah, I want one that's a little easier.
No, do agency.
Who said Verdana? How do you use Verdana? Oh, it's a semicolon. And I'm going to blow my text up on this one a little bit. We do text. The text that size, is that correct? And I can make mine, let's do 200%. What's that? Let me go ahead and say that. I'll put this back up there for those of you that are possible. Why are you giving that?
Because everything is right on my code, on my paper.
I promise you, if it doesn't look right, everything is not right on your code. I promise you.
I've reviewed it like 5 times.
You all, I don't mind to come and look at these things, but I also want to point out to you all, like, when you all leave school and get a job, whatever that job is, I can't come to your job and pick out your mistakes for you. Okay? You've got to learn to pick them out on your own. Or what's going on here? And let me pause my recording. Okay. Next thing we need to do then is we need to take a look at tables. Okay? You have 2 different tables on your page. You have this link bar across the top of your page is a table, and then you have this table right down here. Okay, those are 2 different tables that you see. Go back to your W3 school site, please, and I want you to click down there where it says HTML tables. Click down there where it says HTML tables. And I do want to remind you, you should be paying attention right now. Probably shouldn't be on your phone or playing games. You should be paying attention right now. Now, let's talk about tables. And I'm not talking about these things that are sitting here in the middle of the room where you eat your dinner at, or you eat your lunch at. I'm talking about tables that you see on a page. Okay? And on this page right here, they give you all of these different table examples. Okay. How many of you have ever opened up a Microsoft Word document that has a table in the middle of it? Okay, probably just about every one of you, right? If you're using Microsoft Word and has a table in it, what do they use tables for in Microsoft Word? They basically use it to organize data, right? Or organize information. Okay. When you're using tables on a web page, it's the exact same thing. It's the exact same purpose, to organize information on your page. Okay? I took one of these examples off of this page and put it in there, and then put it on that page, on the page we did earlier in class. But I also just created a table just to show you a different way to use them. Okay? If you take a look, let's go back into these codes over here, and let's take a look at this very first table right here. This table right here is used as a link bar. Okay? When you want to create a table, you use the tag called table. Very easy, right? A tag called table. When you want your table to end, you put a closed table. Okay? Very simple so far, right? If you want to screw your web page up, leave the closed table out. It will mess up everything that you're trying to do. Okay? Make sure you put your open table in your closed table. Now, when you look at a spreadsheet, anybody ever use Microsoft Excel? And Martine, you've used it like that this year class. But in Microsoft Excel, it's a big table, right? And it has rows and columns. And each one of those rows has little table cells, right? It's the same thing using tables right here. Does anybody have a clue what TR stands for? You said table row. Very good. Anytime you want to make a new row in a table, put TR. Anytime you want to end the row, put the close TR. This very first table right here. How many rows are in that table? There's one row. How many cells are in that row? What's that? There's 3 cells in that row, correct? Now, if you take a look right here on my example that I've given you, I've applied the style equals width colon 100%. What does that mean? What does width equals 100% mean? 100% of what? 100% width of what? Out of the table. You see width equals 100%, that means it's 100% of your page, okay? The width spans 100% of the page. Now, I also have these other tags called TD. You might know what TD stands for. TD stands for table. What does the D stand for? What? Table down? No. Yes, table data. Is that what you said? That is correct. Table data or data, however you decide to say it. TD stands for table data. Now, right here, it says style equals width 33%. Why did I put 33% on there? You might know. Okay, but how did I come up with that 33%? What's that? Not on the W3 school side. I made this up. What's that? It's basically roughly a third of 100%, right? Can you divide 100 by 3 equally? Not really, right? So I took 100 divided by 3 and it gives you 33.3333333, right? I knew I was going to have 3 links. I wanted to have 3 cells for those 3 links. I divided those by 3 and got me 33%. Everything that I wanted to show up in each cell came in between this open TD tag right here and the closed TD tag right there. In this case, I put a link to my home page. And then the next one, I put a link to another page. And then the third one, I put a link to another page. Okay? This example right here, all this is an example showing you how to create a link bar using a table. On your table side assignment, I'm going to give you all later on in class today. You all are going to have, I think you're going to have 4 or 5 pages on that assignment. And you're going to have to use a table to create a link bar on each page. If it's 4 pages, then your widths of each TD would be 25%, right? If it's 5 pages, the width would be 20%. Now, let's go down here and take a look at this table. This table right here is a slight bit different than the other one. Okay? It has the same open table, the same closed table. How many rows do we have on this table? I just put 3 rows on this table. Now, the very first row has this tag called TH. Does anybody know what TH stands for? It stands for table header, or table heading. And if you notice right here on the table itself, these first headings are centered and they are in bold letters. Okay? Excuse me. That means it is a table heading. So this one we have first names, first names, last names, list their last pages. Right? okay? Everywhere we wanted to do one of those, so TH, wherever we wanted to end it, we put a closed TH. Same thing with those TDs down there, okay? All they did was organize information on the table. Now, gotta be quiet. The next thing we need to do is we need to style our table, okay? I want to make changes to our table to make it look nice, make it look great, okay? The first thing right here, they give us this example of adding a border to your page or to your table, okay? And let's take a look at this. We're going to add this into your styles, very similar to this. Please turn that off. If you look right here, they created a style. It says table, comma, th, comma, te. Okay? What that is doing is that's applying that table, that style to your table heading, and to your table for your TDs. Okay? We're going to go ahead and apply a 1px solid black border. Okay? Let's do that right now. Let me zoom back out. You will need to go up here. And add this down here below my paragraph. Table, th, t. I'm just going to put 2 spaces there. Let's quickly wrap it. And what was, I can't remember this syntax. Border, colon, 1px solid black. Border, colon, was it 1px solid black?
It was leave it.
You all, I will urge you to pull this up on your W3 school site, but I'm just getting it off of there. I'm going to have to go back and forth quite a bit, so you might get annoyed looking mine while I'm doing this. I'm going to save that. So see how it changes my borders. Alright, Mr. Smith did something wrong. What did Mr. Smith do wrong? Yes. When you do the PX, make sure there's no space. Maybe I didn't say it. Hold on. This should probably do something. Ah. I put the space after the colon. Yeah, if it helps about a refresh. What am I doing wrong?
Oh, there's a dot. I got a comment too.
Probably not.
Well, that quotation mark.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay, if you take a look right here. If you had that period after the TD, take that out. Okay. And I want to point something else to you all. Okay. I might jokingly say I'm perfect every day. Okay. But I'm not perfect. Okay. And this is one of those things too. Like if you ever get a job designing websites for somebody, when I am working on something like this, I oftentimes have to look things up. Okay. This isn't like, this isn't like your math class or your English class where it's like a test and you can't use your notes to go back and look at it, okay? You should always, if you have resources that you can use to help you whenever you're working on something in the real world, use them, okay? Always use them. So you all, if you get frustrated with this stuff and you keep finding little errors, like I make mistakes all the time whenever I'm working on things, okay? It's okay to make mistakes. Just go back and fix it. Figure out what you did wrong and go back and fix it. Now, let's take a look at some of the other styling options on your tables. Now, right here, it says if you want the borders to collapse into one border, add the CSS border dash collapse property. What they're talking about right here is where you see your lines on there. There's basically a little bit of white space in between those lines, correct? If you wanted to just collapse that, get rid of the white space, you could add that border dash collapse in there. If you want to add that in on yours, go ahead. I kind of like the way it looks right now. This one right here says HTML table adding cell padding. This is a good one that you need to look at. The cell padding specifies the space between the cell content and its borders. If you do not specify a padding, the table cells will be displayed without padding. So to set the padding, use the CSS padding property. Notice on this, they've applied padding to just the TH and the TE. I'm going to go ahead and do that on mine as well. So I think that would make it look nice. Go TH. And what was I got to remember this. Padding colon. I'm going to make mine a little more. What's that? I'm going to make mine 30 PS. I'm going to be a rebel. Such a rebel.
Oh man. Oh man.
I care not for your puny 15 pixels of padding. I'm going to go with 30 pixels of padding. I want to show you what it does. Take a look right here. Okay, it adds me a lot more space on my table, right? You may or may not think that looks good. That's completely up to you. Now, I do want to take a look at one thing on here. And I'll let you all go through the rest of this page right here, and you can see like all these other things that you can put in there. You can do cells that's being columns, cells that's being rows, all of those things. Look through those and figure out what you want to do. I want to take a look at something on mine that I think would look a lot better. At the top up there, I had my link bar, correct? What I want my text, my links. They're right now they're left aligned, correct? Do you think it would look better if they were center aligned? Okay, well, how would I go and center align those things? How would I center align those things? This is not on your website. It's not on anything else. How would I center align those things? Go ahead.
In the thing, you do the text align colon center thing.
Okay, where would I put that at? I'm looking at the codes right now.
You could put it with the table, TH, and TH. Yeah. Put it in.
Well, all right. Let's stop right there for a second. I just want this. I want this table right here to be centered.
You could.
Not this one down here. This one up here. What could I do?
That one, only that one.
Just that one.
You go think. Oh, you go down to the. You go to where the information is, like the where it says TO and then all the links. And in the black, you go with the.
Okay. Let's say I want my text to be aligned to the center. Where would be a good place to put it? Should I put it in the open table tag? Should I put it in the open row tag? Or should I put it in the open TE tags? Now, I'm going to try it. I'll be honest with you, I don't know the answer. I'm going to try it inside my open table tag. I'm going to put text dash align colon center. Let's see if that works. Y'all, do you see what I did there? I'm trying to align all my text on this table in the center. Say that. Hey, it worked. You all don't have to put that on there. I would do it if I were doing this next assignment because I think it looks better that way. But y'all are going to put your link bar inside of a table. But I just added a text that's line center to that one table. And notice when I did that, this table down here at the bottom, it's still not centered, is it? What happened to it? Sorry about that. Let me get this pulled back up. I bet you right. Okay. You all now, that's what you need to know to complete your next assignment. You need to know how to do this stuff. Hold on. Now, what I want you to do is the following.